Hold on, Bethesda. Hold on. Look, I'm trying my best. If you could just show a little bit of patience here. I'm doing everything that I can. I'm nearly there. I'm nearly there. Right. Hold on. Oh, I've lost a piece. I've lost a piece. Here. I'll stick it. I'll stick it there. Right. That's the best that I can do with the curation engine. That's the best I can do to repair the... I know it's all I got, Bethesda. It's all I got. Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Now, I'm chuckling because I'm going to start the video with a disclaimer. I don't normally start my videos with a disclaimer. I think the disclaimer's going to fall on deaf ears. I think most people are going to make their minds up based off the title alone. But never mind. Here's the disclaimer. Folks, I legitimately love Bethesda. I really love Bethesda. I love Bethesda games. Morrowind changed my life. I was very happily playing RPGs, and the vast majority of them came from Japan. They were JRPGs. And then suddenly this Western company comes along and basically redesigns what an RPG could be. Hey, you know all that structure, you know all that linear storytelling, even though it's good fun? Yeah? Go anywhere from the start, do anything you want. There is a story, should you wish. Go forth. I had never ever had that experience in a game before, and it just completely turned me into a fan, most likely for life. Oblivion, I thought was a great entry. I was getting a bit bored of the gates by the end of it, but it was still a great entry. And Skyrim is just to die for. It's so good. The same with the Fallout franchise. Because of Morrowind, it turned me on to Fallout 3. I absolutely adored it. I thought, wow, they've got this fantasy version with the Elder Scrolls, and now they have this post-apocalyptic version with the Fallout series. You know, very much doing similar things, but in vastly different settings. And then New Vegas came out, and I bloody loved New Vegas. Now, that wasn't Bethesda. Was that Obsidian or somebody? It was a different company, but I thought New Vegas was just it just came out of nowhere and just blew us away. Fallout 4, I never finished it. I have finished all these games. Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim. Finished all the stories. And spent gazillions of hours. Fallout 3, same. Fallout New Vegas, same. Played multiple times. Finished multiple times. Fallout 4, never finished. Never finished. There were elements that I really liked that were true to the Fallout franchise. And then the things like the base building, a settlement's in danger. This is the longest disclaimer in the world, by the way. And it just, I faded from it. I faded away from Fallout 4. I would like to revisit it at some point, and I'd like to finish it at some point. That is a plan before I die. And then at E3 this year, again, we're still on the disclaimer. 3.5 minutes into the video. At E3 this year, I thought Bethesda gave the best conference out of everybody. In an event where Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo really should be coming out one of those on top, Bethesda, I think, did the best show there. I thought the people who came out, they were goofy, but they came across as genuine. The song at the beginning sounded exactly what a midlife crisis is in music form. I mean, it made me cringe to death, but I was like, okay, this is unapologetic stuff, and I can go with that. When they announced Blades, I started to lose a little bit of hope, because I'm not a mobile fan, and I think we've seen that in recent days with Diablo Immortal. Ooh. if you've been watching those videos. And then at the very end, when they announced the Elder Scrolls 6 in that short piece of footage, cutscene, cinematic, whatever you want to call it, my hope was just like, And I think Todd Howard's great. Todd Howard, to me, comes across as somebody who not only knows his stuff inside out, but somebody who plays his stuff inside out. He comes across not just as a dev, but as a gamer as well. Somebody who can truly empathize and understand the gamer's perspective of matters. Whether or not he agrees or disagrees, I don't think is actually an important part, to some degree anyway. But I think he truly and honestly and genuinely empathizes with the gamer. 5 minutes and 22 seconds later. So I love Bethesda. And this is the disclaimer over. I truly love Bethesda. Don't buy this game. Don't buy. I very rarely. I give an opinion about things. I give a very brutal and honest opinion about things. And I normally say, you know what, it's up to you. But I'm actually telling you, do not buy Fallout 76. Because this game isn't even remotely close to being ready. And you probably heard by now, because there have been a lot of voices out there, you probably heard by now about the graphics being pretty weak. Yes. Sometimes in a screenshot of a moment, if the light hits through the trees in a certain way, it can suddenly look lovely. And then, for the most part, when you're moving around, it just looks horrible. It really does look like a previous generation game. And I really, it makes me feel bad to have to say this, but I gotta be truthful and I gotta be honest with you folks. Graphically poor. The effects, the animations, the character models, they are so far behind now. This creation engine needs to be dragged by its collar around the back. Two in the chest, one in the head. It needs to be put down. It just needs to be put down. It is pretty dreadful. And throughout the beta experience with Fallout 76, and I think I've churned in between 10 to 15 hours of testing on the beta, I just came across nothing but bugs, glitches, horrendous sound. There was a phase when I was streaming the beta where myself and the audience, we were all just like completely taken aback because there were just gunshots going around and we couldn't pinpoint where the gunshots were, and we think they were miles away. We think they're absolutely miles away, but it constantly felt like it was right next to you in your ear, and it was just really, really bizarre. For the most part, I just spent my time walking around. I probably am just walking around here, picking up stuff, getting into a few scraps here and there. But ultimately, the world felt vacuous, empty, boring. And just to really compound matters, the Pip-Boy, the menu system is just horrendous to navigate. It is still set up for single player, and it doesn't understand that we're now in an MMO, a massive multiplayer online game where there's no pause. And so, whereas in the single player game you can bring out your Pip-Boy, cruise through stuff, that's all got to be done on the fly. And if you're being attacked by something or multiple things, it's just the most horrendous clunky piece. Yep, you can hotkey some things across, but still, there's, when it comes to like food and stuff like that. You need to have it quickly, and then you're looking through all your recipes and all the garbage that you've picked up, and then you go to a workbench, and your workbench has got 3 buttons to start with. It's just like, why can't I just access the workbench and then the options be there to scrap things, modify things, build things? It's so clunky and unintuitive and awful. But the biggest problem I had was it was just boring. It was just boring. And it doesn't feel as if there is anything out in the world apart from listening to what I'd class as very annoying holotapes of people, for the most part, saying how they died. And you're just like, I don't care. I don't care how you died. I'm alive. I'm alive. And so you're gone. I can't help you. I can't do anything for you. No offense, you mean nothing. So these holotapes are just garbage. Just not... And I really fail to see where the fun aspect of this game is legitimately going to be. Because all I see is people come on, people going to get bored, and then people are just going to try and grief as much as possible because they just need something to do. The building aspect of it just felt weak. There seems to be a heavy implied microtransaction system and non-implied microtransaction system, which is just ridiculous. The amount of money for just silly, stupid things like hats and boiler suits and stuff like that. It's like $5, you get yourself a hat. It's like a hat for $5? Off. So the microtransaction system seems to be really egregious as well. And when your game is buggy, broken, monotonous, boring, clunky, unintuitive, no, this felt like not a beta. This felt alpha pre-alpha. That's what it felt like. It felt like you had just been given the shell of what was going to convert itself into a game. And the reason why I'm saying don't buy this is this type of game shouldn't be rewarded, regardless of how you feel about the company and the franchise. And I legitimately love Bethesda. I am the first person, well, I'm not, because I can't prove that. But when Fallout was announced, when Fallout 76 was announced at E3, I immediately pre-ordered the Power Armor helmet version. That's £175 in the UK, which probably is around $220, $225 US. And I have cancelled that based off the beta. I got my beta code from that pre-order. I had every intention of purchasing it next week. It's out in 5 days. They ain't fixing these problems in 5 days. And based off the beta, no, I can't support this game because I can't support, regardless of the company, something which is going to come out in such a shoddy state. And that's the main thing. And ultimately, this makes me worried for the Elder Scrolls 6, because if they just try and patch the creation engine again for the Elder Scrolls 6, although it's a different game to Fallout 76, because it most likely will be a single-player experience, it still makes me feel as if it's not going to be that leap, that ultimate leap in technology, when Bethesda maybe should be just saying, look, let's ditch the creation engine and maybe try and work with Unreal, the Unreal Engine, or something like that, where they can hopefully develop a true next generation of game. Just look at Red Dead Redemption 2 and what they've managed to do, I believe, with the Unreal Engine. So, yeah, this is the reason why I'm given I'm gonna bypass maybe. I'm gonna give a flat out don't buy. Because if you want to support this, then you're actually supporting the bad side of the gaming industry. This sort of thing should not in any way be rewarded. As much as you love the franchise, it's the tough love approach. It's the tough love approach. When your dog shits on the front carpet, you don't give it a treat. You don't. You scold the dog. You remove the crap, obviously. You scold the dog, and then you make the dog feel bad, and then the dog comes to you and is like, oh, do you still love me? And you're just like, yeah, I still love you, but you can't get a treat for shitting on the carpet. Bethesda have shat on the carpet with Fallout 76. And I'm sorry, Bethesda, but I can't give you any treats. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do get a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links, they're in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.